Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the BH and Scrubber Show here on the What the Football channel. We're back after a win, a glorious win. I think that's 4 out of the last 5 games or something like that. So
Yep.
We're going to talk about this game. A lot of good stuff happened, just like what we think our team can do. Looking forward to the next week's game as well. And, of course, here with me today is my boy BH. Welcome, BH.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Feeling so much better. The game of the week. I know that the Bills game was an awesome game. I actually watched it. It was a good game.
Good.
But really, from the pundits and everything, after that weekend, everybody was talking about the Commanders.
Yes, they were.
And it was all good. It was all good. And then they explained how the Commanders did it. They should have just been watching with the football, and then they would have got it. They would have understood, because we've been preaching it. We know, right. Week in and week out, we would have told them. They were shocked, but they figured it out. Yeah, man, I'm just so proud of those guys. Once again, proud of Heinicke. He stepped up. The defense is just turning into a machine that's just killing people. Oh my God. I mean, and like we were talking about, good Lord, when Chase comes back, Cole Holcomb comes back. Are you kidding me? This defense, they're just going to be strangling people. So it was all good. I'm glad the D just kept going, because even with the good and the bad of the last 5 or 6 weeks, we've been saying getting better, getting better, getting better. And props to them. Props to Coach Del Rio. They're just doing an awesome job. So yeah, there is so many good things to go around, but I'll tell you, I'll start it.
Yeah, go for it.
Because last week we said, when all was said and done, we were pretty critical. We said 3 people got to improve, and that's coach managing. Taylor Heinicke's got to have a better game. And our offensive coordinator, Turner, has got to have a better game plan and execute the plays. And all of them did a great job. Nothing was perfect. There were some glitches along the way, but that's going to happen. We just don't want awful stuff and stupid stuff and detrimental stuff and things that suck the life out of you, and they just did a great job. Coach Turner with that, just so committed to the run.
Yes.
And just stayed with it and didn't give up. I was just happy for everybody. And really, I was so happy for Taylor, because really the first series, getting that ball stripped.
Oh God. Well, I thought it was over then. God, he got plowed from behind, dude.
They swiped it, and then in 4 plays, you get the touchdown at 7-0. And then going into that game, everything was against us. The whole world was against us. It was, we're on the road against a team that already beat the crap out of us. They're undefeated. Everyone and their grandma predicted them to win, and then you do that. It's almost like you could just feel the life gets sucked out of you. Yeah. And a lot of people fold in that situation, but Heinicke and the offense didn't quit. They kept coming. They just didn't. And then I was really proud, because a lot of times that'll just kind of knock you for a loop and you never recover. And before you know it, it's 44-10 and you get murdered. So no, he did a great job.
Yeah. He came back with a nice sustained drive right after that. So
those drives were so killer, dude, that I went back and looked at time of possession, and our defensive players played the least amount of snaps than in any game all year. Even though even guys who play 100% of the snaps, it was like 44, 45 plays. It was super low. And then on the flip side, because when you look at the offensive linemen and Heinicke, people who play every play, man, they ran like 69. They ran a ton of plays, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
I think offenses and offensive lines do really good with a lot of plays, because they're delivering the blow. They're the guys who are, you're bringing it to them. And so if you have to have 70 plays, you don't care. But boy, if you're a defensive guy and all of a sudden you're playing 65, 67, 68 plays in a game, dude, and you're getting hammered by our running backs too, by the way. So that was kind of interesting to see that dynamic. I just would I'm sure coach would love to see that all the time too, right?
Yeah. At the end of the first half, we had 23 minutes of possession, and they had like six something of possession. That's
it,
insane.
it ended up being 40-20.
Really, twice as much. Yeah. Well, some of those
Twice as
drives were the one was like 13 plays, 7 minutes. One was like 9 or something, like for 5 minutes or something.
crazy.
Really good.
Yeah, 13.
Tress only punted twice. That's pretty good.
That's real good. Are you kidding? And 13 plays will just kill a team because that means that they're not stopping third downs. You keep getting first downs, and boy, that'll just kill you. And I mean, Brian Robinson, man, what did you think of that?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, he loved pounding the rock all day. He only got like 3.3 per carry, but 3.3 per carry is 10 yards when you carry it 3 times. So,
yeah,
I thought he did great. Super Herculean efforts on some of those. He was dragging like 3 and 4 guys behind him and stuff and just stretching it out. So, yeah, I thought he did really good. Antonio did good too. The run game, they were, like you said, committed to the run game. Like, what was it, like 40, 45, 49 runs?
It was insane, dude. It was
Yeah.
so many running plays. Yeah, and I liked it, like you said, that stretch play when Robinson just gutted it out, and then once he could see the goal line, he waited and then stuck the ball over. Boy, he's something else. I'm proud of him. Terry was awesome.
Yeah.
Terry was just killing it. I was proud. I was really happy for Taylor. Taylor threw some pinpoint passes right in there when people were covered. But there was a ton of plays, man, where Terry and Curtis Samuel were just like running free, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, they were open.
Yeah.
I mean, Taylor Heineke must have looked up and said, "Holy crap! Of course, I'm throwing to you."
Yeah.
So and that is a good defense. That's a good defense. And Darius Slay, who is their top corner and one of the better corners in this league, dude, he got crisped. He was burnt when they were done. Terry just ran them all over the field. He just killed them. So Terry had almost like 130 something yards, right?
Yeah, 126 or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So offensively, that was great. Receivers great. I think Jahan Dotson got only one catch.
Mm-hmm.
Tight ends, I think there was only 2 catches to Logan and nobody else. I mean, we haven't been utilizing the tight ends, but what works. I know they're good blockers, so they're probably double tight ending a lot of that, but it'd be nice to start utilizing those guys too and get them in the mix. But I'm not going to complain. But there's going to have to be some games we can get them guys going. But they do their job.
They've probably seen the run was when you're running so many run plays, there's not many plays left over for other people, too.
Good point.
You see what I'm saying? They were getting ate up by all them running plays. And like you were just saying, what's working is working. They were getting, 3 and 4 yards per carry. That's working for them, beating up the defense, opening up the passing game. So, like you said, just let them block for a game. That might change next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Houston. Maybe that was just a design for this week. So they saw something in the Eagles that they thought the run game would work more so than they have before. So, and as per to the run game too, the 2 touchdowns were the 2 running backs.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and you're right. And some teams, and maybe it's the case with Philadelphia, does have a good defense, and if you got some pretty good athletic linebackers and safeties, it's hard on tight ends. So maybe you go, we don't need to challenge them. They're good at covering tight ends. We'll beat them with our wide receivers and we'll run at them. I think they did see an opening. I think it was the Thursday game against Houston, who we're playing next. Did get success on the ground. Actually, they ran pretty darn good. They got a really good young back there in Houston, and they had some success. And maybe our coaches looked at that film and said, "Hey, we can run on these guys," and so they did. One thing that offensively, it would be nice to see the tight ends and Jahan Dotson. I think that's just a matter of time. And once all those guys are in the mix, man, that's going to be devastating for teams when we have to pass. Like, let's say teams finally say, "Hey, we're just bringing our safeties up, and you guys aren't going to run." There's going to come a time where teams are just going to not let you run because they're tired of getting beat. And then, man, when it's time to throw with those young guys and those tight ends, I think we're going to see a lot of guys running free like we did against Philadelphia. You can't cover everybody. And you said it last week, they're so talented.
Yeah.
Pick your poison. There's not a dud out there.
No. So, even Cam Sims and Dax Milne, even them secondary and tertiary guys are really good.
They are. They're contributing. I think on offense, the one thing that I did notice, I know Sam Cosmi came in. I still didn't get any confirmation on a coach's decision or an injury. But Lucas played about 50% of the snaps, and Sam Cosmi came in. So we'll look into that. I'm not sure what happened if Lucas got dinged up or if he just was underperforming. Coach just wanted to make a change. So it was good to see Cosmi in there. I think Lucas is a great guy, and gosh, he's filled in fantastically. But overall, I think the superior player and one hell of a run blocker, Sam Cosmi. I think now that his hand's healed, it'll be good to have him in there. But I think go ahead.
I was going to say, it's funny how an offense with a quarterback rating of 66.3 and a average run of 3.3 yards, those are crappy stats. That's why I always say stats don't matter.
Right.
The quarterback rating of 66 and 3.3 yards per carry. That's shit statistics, but they won. So
that's it. Control and then look at the good stats, right? The stats that no one ever talks about. Turnovers.
Yeah.
People do talk about that, but we won the turnovers, but controlling the clock.
Yes.
Yeah. Those things don't pop up so much.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. I'm trying to think defensively. We could talk about the defense all day because that was what a performance. I was surprised about Wild Goose was inactive. So I was wondering who's going to play the slot. And it looked like Derek Forrest played almost 100% of the snaps, and so did Bobby McCain. But when I was watching the plays and watching things go, like on that interception, Derek Forrest was playing the free safety. Not Bobby McCain. So I'm wondering, and they like to do the Buffalo nickel, move people around. I wonder if they mostly just used Derek in the free safety, Cam Curl strong, and then had Bobby McCain going with the slot receiver. I don't know, but when they threw that deep pass, Derek Forrest was there, and then he got the fumble.
He picked up that fumble. That was a pretty long throw. The guy caught it, but still.
Yeah. And Benjamin St-Juste dislodged it.
Yep.
He went in and knocked it out. So he was great. And Derek Forrest did play 100% of the snaps. He played every snap. So, man, that guy is turning in just to I think, is this his second year? Was he a rookie last year?
He was. He was last year.
Yeah. I think this is only his second year. But you talk about a guy that's coming into his own.
He actually been doing good all season. I believe he's been doing good all season. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Right from the beginning, man. Pro Football Focus. He's got an 80 score and plus. Yeah. Right off the bat. It's like he got a full year under his belt, and then something clicked in his brain. And we always talk about it. We always complain actually and go, you've been in this system. You know the scheme. You know the coach. Why aren't you getting it? Well, Derek Forrest is one of those guys that said, I know the scheme. I know my guys that I play next to. I understand what coach wants. And then he plays it to the hilt. And guess what? Hey, your Pro Football Focus is number 3 ranked safety. Yeah. It's not that hard, guys. And Derek Forrest proves it. He didn't come out of college. He's what? He was like a 4th or 5th round pick. He wasn't a first rounder. So, man, he's really stepped up. He's been a star. Jamin had 9 tackles. He had the forced fumble. St-Juste had 7 tackles. He had a forced fumble.
Nice.
So those guys were really stepping up. Jamin looking really good, and I didn't know. I guess Goddard was down when he pulled him down and the ball came out, but that would have been nice to have gotten. That's 2 weeks in a row we got a touchdown taken away from us on D. St-Juste on the pick 6, they called him for interference, and on that play they said Goddard was down, which he probably was. I couldn't argue too strongly. But he did rip him down with his face mask pretty good.
He did. I think what did they say that when he picked up the ball and Jamin was still down, he was being touched by Goddard.
That's what they said. He's
Okay,
being
that's what it
touched.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Even
being touched by
whether
Goddard. Right,
either way, whether you contact them or they contact you, if you're still
right.
in the down. So that's what they said.
Yeah,
But heads up, heads up for Jamin to pick it up and
yeah,
run. Don't
yep,
don't think about it.
right.
A lot of people complaining about that face mask, but I say boo hoo. When you look at all the bogus calls that went against us, how about last week when they took away our pick six? That
Yeah,
broke our backs. I didn't hear
yeah.
anybody crying about that. So
Well,
too
the
bad.
good thing was the center for the Eagles. I saw a thing where he talked about it. He told everybody to fuck off about the face mask. He said it wasn't a face mask because they didn't call it.
Yeah.
And he's going, there
Yeah.
were way many other things wrong with the fucking team besides that face mask. And when your own center is saying, the refs call what the refs call. I'm sorry, it goes both ways many, many times. And he said they didn't see it. They didn't throw the flag. It's
Yeah.
not a face mask. There are other problems that made us lose that game. And so that was nice to hear. So,
Yeah. And like the way you even called it during the game, man, some egregious holds on their offensive line. They were
yes.
just grabbing. You were
Ooh,
like yelling. You were yelling,
yeah.
and they just no flag at all. And I'm not
Yeah.
talking ticky tack. I'm talking. You can see they got the jersey or they're hooking because
Yeah.
our D line is so powerful.
Yes.
They're hooking them. They're grabbing them, and so
Yeah.
that goes by. And so yeah, props to Kelsey
Yeah.
for telling the truth, which is what we said last week. Remember, we said don't make a bunch of dumb mistakes so that at the end of the game you blame the kicker or some rookie
Right.
mistake that's kind of what Kelsey was saying. Hey, if we'd
Yeah.
taken care of our business, that
Right.
wouldn't have mattered,
It
but we
does.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was awesome. I'm proud of all those guys for stepping up. Derek Forrest, what a stud.
Joey
I
Slide.
we could just do a whole show on Joey Slide.
Jesus. 4 for 4 on field goals and 2 for 2 on points.
Yeah, I wish I could say we're two of Joey Sly's biggest supporters, man. Right
Yeah.
here on we call it like it is. We don't
Yeah.
hate Joey, but we call him out on the carpet for his misses because they're just not. That's not sustainable. Missing extra points and shanking 38 yarders. That's just your job, man. But man, put all that behind. What an animal he was.
Yeah. A 58 and a 55.
55 and a 58 in the same game, and then
Yeah.
I think he hit a chip shot 35, and then he hit both his PATs. I mean,
Yeah.
let's just hope this supercharges him for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Just to get it in your head, dude. Don't doubt yourself. Just line up and kick it.
Yeah.
I don't mind a guy missing maybe technique or something, but I hate when guys miss when they're kind of tight or nervous.
Yeah.
You can't be. And I've seen him. I watched him when he missed one a couple weeks ago, and he was out there, and I was looking at him. And I go, the guy looks tight. He had a look. He was kind of moving, practicing, and he just had a tight look on his face. And sure as heck, man, he hooked it. So anyway, what a great guy, man. And I mean, that's a backbreaker, a 58 yarder. No one expects that to go through.
No. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You think automatic miss. They
oh
nailed
my God.
it. And it looked good.
Yeah.
It's clean right down the middle, cleared the post
Yeah.
real good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And the 55 yarder was even better. The 55 yarder, he launched it up in the air. When it came off his foot and went up, I thought, oh, that's too much trajectory for over 50. Because that's why those kicks get blocked a lot. Because those kickers need to get some. They can't just pop it up in the air.
Right.
But he launched it up, and man, I mean, it cleared the crossbar by 6 or 8 yards.
He's
So
got the leg. He's a thick-legged dude. So
dude, he can't complain now. It's like, dude, we saw you kick a 58 yarder, so we don't want to hear it.
there you go.
Just you did it. You got a great leg. Yeah, he does. He's not. Don't use him to chase guys down.
Yeah,
on
that's the
kickoffs.
only thing. Yeah, his hammies snap in a second.
Yeah, no, just go to the sideline, bro.
Yeah.
Don't do it. So, overall, I don't know. I think there was only two. I'd say on a negative side, I think there's a couple clock management issues still.
Yeah.
There was, I think, there was that one time, and they had 1st and 20. There was some penalty, and then all of a sudden, it was just like had to burn a timeout.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
remember that.
what
Yeah.
happened. It was some confusion there, but sometimes there's confusion on the field with the refs after a penalty. When does the play clock start, because there's so much going on. And I've seen that happen to a lot of teams where there doesn't seem to be a lot of clarity from the refs when they place the ball, when they start the play clock. There's a bunch going on, but it wasn't bad. I mean, those things happen, but it wasn't like last week. There wasn't any stupid things that happened, so I was really glad.
Though, it does speak to them a little bit, still needing to tweak that a little bit. Another thing that I saw that I didn't like was, how you take the ball and you go to one knee. I didn't like Heineke fucking taking like a step or two, holding, then taking the knee. Not the one where he got hit, but like a regular taking the knee. You shouldn't fucking do that. If you're going to take the fucking knee, you take the fucking knee. You're going to fake it like that, you're going to get everybody on your line killed because they're going to think you're going to fake it.
Yeah.
So I've seen Tampa Bay, I think, fake that one time. You should be called out on that. You shouldn't do it. Just take the knee.
Yeah.
Right. I think he was just trying to scrap a couple seconds. I think there was like a minute and 45, and they weren't going to have enough to need because they had to punt at the end with like 11 seconds. So it was one of those.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can only run the clock for so long. So he was just trying to eke out a couple more seconds off that, and it wouldn't have helped anyway. So, I don't like that.
Yeah. Just take the knee. Yeah, and that was a weird one, the play you referenced, where he did go down and that guy just plowed into him.
It was legit.
But that he knew right away it was a penalty. Yep. Legit. He knew it. And the thing is, man, those guys were they were running their mouths, and they had a double headshot on Curtis Samuel. Remember, they got that penalty unsportsmanlike when they helmeted him, and the other guy came in almost at the same time.
And he was out of bounds.
And then to his credit, the guy even stayed there the more and did it, and then he posed. And he was posing on, which is, you got to be careful. That's taunting. And the ref didn't call it. He just posed on him.
Yeah.
And Curtis got up. And you know what? To his credit,
yeah,
Samuel just went right by him. Didn't jaw at him. I thought, man, that's a pro. Yeah. Everyone else starts talking trash. And no, he just went back to the huddle.
Yeah.
But they did that when Derek Forrest ran out of bounds after picking up the fumble. They hit him late.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they didn't flag him. They come up and they hit him. Now, luckily, it was our bench. It was kind of funny because they hit him, but he went into our guys, and then our guys grabbed him. There was a giant scrum, and everyone was hitting him on the head and laughing.
Yeah.
And it turned out good. But I was like, why didn't they flag that? But they were being cheesy and cheap the whole game. They were doing that kind of stuff. And you know what? It cost them because right there, that guy was all jacked up. And I don't know what he thought he was doing, but
you heard me say it a few times during the game. Look at him cheat. Look at him cheat. Look at him cheat.
God.
Against the Eagles. I must have said it 10 times.
Late hits, holding, cheesy, posing, talking trash. Yeah, a lot of that stuff. And hey, before we forget, now we got to give props to Casey Toohill.
Yeah.
For his defensive touchdown in garbage time. Blew up about, I would say at least 120,000 fantasy football games out there. There's a bunch of teams with Washington's defense, and they got 2 points for that fumble and 6 points for the touchdown.
Oh my
Boom.
God.
Yeah. Just in complete garbage time. But he had fun. I loved it. He danced, had a good time. Hey man, how many times are you going to pick up a ball when you're a D lineman and run into the end zone? So I was happy for him. He's a great guy. He's filled in fantastically. Him and all those guys, James Smith-Williams, filling in for Chase, and Casey's been awesome. So I thought it was kind of cool. We got a freebie. So that was cool. Good guy, San Diego guy there. So he's awesome.
The turnovers were great for us.
Gosh, you know what? I mean, we were talking last week. We got the turnovers, and it felt like it was 4 or 5 weeks since we had a turnover. I mean, nothing. We weren't getting interceptions or fumbles, and now all of a sudden, and someone said something about them only having 3 turnovers in those 8 games or something. Yeah, all year, and he had 4 in one game. So, but we need those. That's one thing I'm glad we got 4, and I think we got 1 last week or so. But boy, we really need to up sacks and turnovers. I mean, really, I would like to see an improvement there.
We only had 1 so much. We only had 1 sack this week, but that's against Jalen Hurts too. So that's, this coming week up against Houston, we should have more sacks going on.
Their guy he's not as mobile, Yeah. So, and they're going to probably really try and run. I mean, they can't put Davis Mills back there to get killed. And I think one thing too, we don't get sacks is we only rush 4.
Right.
That's not our thing. We're not sending 7 guys like a lot of teams do because we're just choking people to death. We're just rushing 4, 7 back, blitz every now and then, and just making it so hard for them to throw. It's just impossible. So, well, speaking of Houston, we got to go to Houston, and this is a trap game.
Yeah.
After a big win, big trap game. My son went to go see the Chargers. A Charger fan went to go see the Chargers 2 years ago in Houston when they were still sucking and not doing good. And he was so jacked up for the game, went there, and Houston clobbered him. Perfect trap game. They weren't ready for it because they're not a very good team. But, on any given Sunday, they're grown-ass men. They want to win, and they're going to play as good as they can. But so we cannot go into that game with any of this. They were really happy after the Philly game, but they cannot take that into this game. They really got to go in because you can really go get punched in the mouth by another team like that. So we got to be careful. We got to really do our business, stick to our game plan, and we can do it. Mills is not, he's not very mobile. He's not got a great arm. He's a young guy. He's decent, but he's tailor-made for our D-line.
Yeah.
Because he won't be able to run it and hide. They do have a great running back in Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
So they better be ready for him. That kid is the real deal. I mean, my God, I watch him. He might be the best 2 or 3 running backs in this league next year when he comes back. He's that good. Kid is something. So we cannot let him get off. But other than that, I think we can do the same thing. Time of possession, run the ball, throw, get those receivers out there. I just think we can get the win, but it's got to be business. All business. Cannot take that last victory with us. Got to forget about it because this is important, man. Too important to take your eye off the ball because we got a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah, we do. It can be done. They can do it.
It can be.
There's a lot of games lined up in our favor.
Houston, Atlanta, and then we just run the Giants back to back right out of the division here next month.
That'll be helpful.
We got the Giants 2 in a row. We can just crush them 2 times and eliminate them. Bye. Yep. So a lot of good things can happen, but one game at a time.
One game at a time. Next week at Houston.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there.
All right.
I'll be there.
I'll probably be doing it off the Yahoo graphic. So
there you go. I got nothing else except, man, just happy, joy. And I'm so proud of those guys and what a win. It was really cool. I was so happy for them, all of them, the team and the coaches.
They look like what we know they can do. That was the nice thing about it. They look like what we think that they are. So
that's what it is. Yep. Ball control, run like crazy, suffocating D. When preaching it, that's what Coach Ron wants. So I'm sure he was happy.
Yeah. All right. Great show,
right, man.
I appreciate it.
No problem. And I'll see you I'll be in the chat room while you're live streaming, and just hope we just eliminate Houston just like that.
There's another thing too. The chat room last week was great. All our people were there. Chris, Veronica, Mountain Man, Wheezy D, you, bunch of people were there. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting some of you. Brett, our new guy that's been showing up. So
Brett's doing a great job in there. Yeah, he brings a lot to the table having him in there because he's super energetic and he sounds like a longtime Skins fan from the back in the day. So it's good having him there. Heck yeah.
So that's a message to y'all. Come on back out again. And so, it'll be fun.
All right, man.
See y'all.
See ya.